tell, I'm Camille. This is Lynn. We're sharing one microphone, so it's kind of weird. And also, my card is not up here, not because I forgot it and it got taken away, but because I memorized the questions. Yes. All right. So to start us out, I think we're all pretty nervous because Lynn Shelton is so cool. So, what is the most exciting thing that's happened to you this year in your filmmaking world?
Playing your mom in a short film.
That's not fair. She skipped to the last question.
Probably the moment that was mentioned before in the introduction, which was receiving a standing ovation at Cannes, was the moment this year that I felt like I was living someone else's life. It was an out-of-body experience. That was pretty darn exciting.
Wow, that's so cool. That's gonna be me one day, guys. So now we all know that filmmaking is fun. You get to go to Cannes, psych. But it's also really, really challenging. What has been the most challenging thing for you this year as well?
I just got out of a shoot, a 5-week shoot for a web series called $5 Cover Seattle, and making movies is really hard. It's really, really hard, and it's why I want to make sure that I always have a really good time doing it, because and then surround myself with people that I love and people that I want to see make the best work that they can make, and people that I know will push me to make the best work I can make. Because I can't think of anything harder than making a movie. So I'd say that making a movie was the hardest thing, or web series in this case, but making work was the hardest thing, yeah.
Right. And when Lane was talking about you in your bio, she said that you came back from New York to Seattle, your hometown, because you wanted to be here. And so I was wondering, what's so important about being a Seattle filmmaker? What's it like?
You know, when I left, I spent my 20s in New York, and I left with a BA in theater from the University of Washington, and I was an actress. And then while I was in New York, I converted to filmmaking. I sort of transferred over to photography and got an MFA in photography at the School of Visual Arts. And I started making experimental work. And when I came back to Seattle, I was really scared that I didn't know anything about making movies in Seattle because I hadn't been doing it before I left, and I didn't know if there was a community here. I had no idea. And it was really scary, you know. But I came back, and first I got involved in 911 Media Arts, and then I got involved with Northwest Film Forum, and then I started meeting people and networking and creating, you know, relationships with people, and it became pretty clear pretty quickly that it was a really great town for making movies, and specifically for being a woman filmmaker, which is something I haven't really realized until recently. I just had never noticed. It was just seemed like a community of people. But in going to other film festivals around the world and meeting a lot of other filmmakers who say, hey, you're a woman making movies. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, okay. So, and I realized that Seattle's a really special place because there are a lot of women making films, a lot of really strong, incredible, creative, fantastic women making movies. And it's not that way, you know, in every other place in the world. In fact, I think it's pretty rare that women can be empowered to make films as easily as men. So I've really come to appreciate that specifically about Seattle. Hooray.
Applause. I know there are a lot of those strong, empowered women in this audience, especially some of us are teenagers. Do you have any advice for us in how we could advance our filming career or just make great films like you do?
Well, I think one of the reasons it's been easy for me as a female in the industry is that I haven't been in Hollywood. I haven't been trying to get hired. I haven't gone around begging with a script, you know, for money, you know, for millions of dollars. I basically, the last 2 films that I've made, I self-produced, and I basically looked at the resources I had at my disposal, and I picked up the camera, and I got some friends together and said, let's make a movie. And I totally recommend everybody do that who wants to make a movie. And just empower yourselves, don't wait around for permission to make work, just do it.
because she skipped around on my script. I'm coming back to this, but if you can believe it, Lynn and I were actually mother and daughter in a film lately, and I was going to ask her what she thought about that, having me as her daughter. I think it would be